Hi, this is Jacob Hornberger, president of the Future of Freedom Foundation. You know, everywhere we look, there is a crisis. There are crises here domestically with out of control spending, out of control debt. You've got all the socialist programs, the unfunded liabilities on top of all that, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, all the welfare state commitments, farm subsidies, education grants, corporate bailouts, foreign aid to dictators. The list goes on and on. And as everybody knows, things are getting worse and worse. It's even worse on a foreign policy level. You've got refugee crises, bombing crises, regime change crises. I mean, the whole Middle East is in flames, along with Afghanistan. Now, there is a common denominator to all these crises, and that's the bad isms, the interventionism, the imperialism, the socialism that has held into our nation in its grip for so many decades. But the good news is that there's a solution to all this, and that's libertarianism. Now, granted, it's important to try to come up with fixes to all these crises, but that's just a never-ending process because the fixes inevitably produce new crises. I mean, we've seen that decade after decade after decade. Every time they try to fix one of their crises with more interventionism or more imperialism or more socialism, the situation just gets worse. So what we libertarians are doing and what we have been doing is presenting a vision for America that rises above all of these crises. That is a vision for a society based on free markets, on private property, limited government, which necessarily entails a dismantling, an abolition, a repeal of all of the infringements on economic liberty, all the socialist programs, all the interventionist programs, the imperialist programs, the national security state. And it's imperative that we continue presenting that vision because really it's the only way to present the case for a long-lasting society based on freedom, prosperity, harmony, and morality. Now, there's three factors to consider here as we're spreading these ideas. That the bad ideas, the progressive ideas of socialism, intervention, and imperialism, really moved America in a dramatically different direction, a bad direction. But in order to do that, they had to succeed in overcoming what had been 100 years of movement toward a classical liberal or libertarian society. Well, that's important because it shows you the power of ideas, that if bad ideas can move a nation in a bad direction, then good ideas can overwhelm the bad ideas and get America back on the right track. So if they could accomplish things in their direction, we can accomplish things in the good direction. There's also a reason why totalitarian dictators try to shut people like us down, suppressing us, putting us in jail for criticizing what the government's doing. And that is because they know the power of ideas on liberty. They know that at any moment people can essentially wake up and say, my gosh, what we're living in is no way to live at all with this constant fear and crisis and bigger government and more intrusive government and more oppressive government. They say, hey, the libertarians have the right idea. They're building on the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the movement toward classical liberalism that was taking place in this nation in the latter part of the 19th century. And so the reason Chinese dictators shut people like us down and other dictators is because they know that these ideas have a power, that when they reach people's minds, they can influence the course of a person's thinking and indirectly then a shift in the course of society. And finally, there's the discovery of libertarianism that takes place. I mean, look, we have achieved this breakthrough. If you're watching this video, the likelihood is that you're already a libertarian. Well, the probability is you weren't always a libertarian. You somehow or another achieved a breakthrough that saw that the problems of this country are are rooted in the socialism, interventionism, and imperialism, and that the solution is freedom in the free market. But that means you discovered these ideas somehow or another. Some people are converted, but very few. Usually we discover these ideas inadvertently, whether it's on the internet or a magazine in a doctor's office or what have you. And that was the way I discovered it. Nobody was there trying to convert me. I just happened to be looking for something to read in a public library in my hometown of Laredo, Texas, and I come across some libertarian books that had been published some 20 or 30 years before. And so it shows you that this means that we have to continue spreading libertarian ideas by just putting them into the marketplace, posting them on the internet for people to discover and then start exploring and delving into and studying more closely. So with those three factors, what I'm suggesting is that as bad as things may get, there's always a chance for a turnaround. This is a big movement, a huge movement. You never know when the opportunity is going to surface for this movement to all of a sudden rise and people say, my gosh, I never knew there were so many libertarians. But we've got to keep working. During these periods of times, we have to keep working, putting those ideas out there in the marketplace with the aim of finding more people that achieve this breakthrough and then thereby bringing this shift that dictators throughout the world fear. So that's what we do here at FFF. We spread ideas on liberty, uncompromising ideas on liberty, because we believe that's the way to achieve liberty, by hewing to principle. That's what we've done for 26 years. And we couldn't do it without those of you that have helped us out. I mean, our work necessarily depends on your donations. And so I hope you'll consider giving us an end-of-year donation. It's tax deductible, as you know. And as always, as we've done for the last 26 years, we will put your money to good use. Thank you so much, and a very happy holiday season and a very Merry Christmas to you.